Welcome back into another realistic rebuild I have for you guys here today on Madden 20. Today it's going to be of the Packers. Before I really begin this video though, if you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel and enjoy these realistic rebuilds, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button because there's a lot more to come. Also, if you enjoyed the video, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like button down below. It helps me out so much in the end. And while you're down there, if you're interested in following me on Twitter, joining my Discord, or checking out my second channel, links to all of those are in the description. Let's go over the team here quickly. I didn't actually simulate by the Super Bowl week yet. I'll do that in a second, but this team is actually very solid. You know, the Packers have a good roster. 81 overall, 84 offense, 79 defense. On the offense, of course, we have Aaron Rodgers, a superstar X-Factor quarterback. I don't know how badly he regresses in this game, but of course, Aaron Rodgers is still a great quarterback. I think he can do perfectly fine for us here. One of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. He's 36 years old, though. So if he does decide to retire, we're going to be put in a pretty weird situation. I don't plan on drafting a quarterback this year, so I hope he doesn't regress too badly or retire in the near future. Maybe I will have to go after a quarterback in the next few drafts, but I don't want to take one just yet. At running back, though, we do have Aaron Jones, and he's a really solid running back. He's young, 25 years old, 87 overall star development. That may even go up through the course of the rebuild, but I think he had like 16 rushing touchdowns or something like that this last year, and I'm pretty sure he also had over 1,000 yards. Yeah, 1,084 yards, 16 touchdowns, 4.6 yards per carry. He had a really solid season. Aaron Jones is a good running back. At receiver, if you take away Davante Adams, they have a really poor receiving core. 73 overalls for Geronimo Allison and MVS, 72 there for Ryan Grant, 70 overalls for the other two guys down there as well. But Davante Adams is a stud. He's a 94 overall superstar development. He usually goes up to X Factor at some point. He is a really solid receiver for us. He's going to be on the team this entire time. I've seen him in free agency a few times. I'm going to do my best to make sure that doesn't happen because he's one of the best receivers in the NFL. I do want to target receiver though in this draft. The receiving class this year is super deep, so I don't know if I'm going to take one in the first round or the second round, because I can think of at least one other position I wouldn't mind taking in the first round if I'm able to, but I'll get to that in a second. The offensive line for this team is actually really solid. David Bakhtiari, a 95 overall left tackle, one of the best at his position. Elgton Jenkins is a good rookie. Well, he was a rookie this past year. Now, I guess a second-year player when we go into this next season. But Elgton Jenkins is a good player. He's a 79 overall star development, 24 years old. He should be fine at left guard for us this entire time. Corey Linsley is the starting center. He's a bit old, but he's a 78 overall. Not that bad. Lane Taylor isn't anything special. Billy Turner as well. I think both of these guys are rather expensive as well. I'm not going to keep Lane Taylor for the long term. He's really not all that good. He's a 69 overall, 30 years old. I can easily replace that. And then Brian Bulaga is really good at right tackle. He's kind of old, and I'm pretty sure he's on a contract here, isn't he? At least soon. I want to try to retain him as long as possible. I'm sure he'll be fine for us, honestly, until he retires. An 87 overall, even if he's going to regress, he'll still be in the 80s. Jimmy Graham isn't all that good at tight end. I'm looking to get rid of him if we can. He's 33 years old as well. I think we can pretty easily replace him. Mercedes Lewis is also old. He's 36 years old. Jace Sternberger is young, but he's only a 71. I wouldn't mind him starting at tight end for us this next season if I can't get anybody else, but I am looking to get a different tight end if I can. On the defensive side, I'll start out in the secondary. We have Adrian Amos here, who's a really good strong safety, 87 overall. Darnell Savage has a ton of potential here, 23 years old, 76 overall star development. He should be fine at free safety. Jair Alexander is one of the league's best corners right now, 89 overall superstar X Factor. He is a beast. Other than him, though, there's not really another really solid cornerback on this team. I mean, Kevin King is superstar development. Did that just go up because of the Super Bowl week or something? Yeah, okay, so he went up to superstar development. That's pretty cool. He's a 72. I'm sure he's good enough then to stay on the team this whole time. Tremont Williams, I'm looking to get rid of. He's 37 years old. Josh Jackson has some potential since he's still young and has star development, but I may have to target a corner rather soon. Then moving on to the D-line, we have Montravius Adams, who's not all that good. He's a 66 overall. Kenny Clark is a beast, 90 overall, 24 years old, superstar development. That may have went up as well. I thought he used to have star. Maybe he just got upgraded to superstar. He is a good player. I don't know. And then Dean Lowry is starting at left end. He's not all that bad either. 26 years old, is decently young there. Zadarius Smith is a beast. He had a really good first year on the Packers here. 27 years old, 88 overall. He should be fine for us the rest of the time. Preston Smith was also a good player this past year. Same age, a little bit worse. He's an 84 overall. Their middle linebackers are not very good. Blake Martinez does have superstar development, but he's not that good of a player. BJ Goodson is the number 2 middle linebacker. I think middle linebacker and wide receiver are going to be my first 2 draft picks this year. I don't know when I'll draft which position. I think I'm kind of leaning towards taking a first round middle linebacker and then a second round receiver just because of the depth at receiver. I think we can get away with that. And usually some guys fall out of the first round here because of how many really talented receivers there are. But let's advance by the Super Bowl. I'll change all the XP sliders and all that good stuff, and I'll let you know who we have to bring back to the team. So Brian Bulaga is a free agent right now, and I really want him back on the team. He's down to an 86, which is definitely not bad. I'm going to try to bring him back. We have $14.3 million. We don't have all that much, but he is definitely worth it. He's a really good right tackle. Let's just make sure he accepts this. He is going to accept that for 2 more seasons. I am perfectly comfortable with that. Let me actually check out who's left. Nobody that high of an overall is still here, but let's just see if there's any players who I want. Yeah, okay, I don't think I want anybody else down here. There's a bunch of receivers who actually got significant play time this year, but I don't really want to bring those guys back on the team. We don't really have the money for that. Let's hop into free agency, though. $13.31 million. We really don't have all that much to spend. Amari Cooper would be sick on this team, but I don't think we have the money for it. Kendall Fuller would also be pretty good. Maybe I can try to land him. I go after him a lot, though. AJ Green could be really interesting. I would not mind getting AJ Green on this team, even though I'm pretty sure he's coming back to the Bengals. I think I heard somewhere they're planning on using a franchise tag on him or something, so I don't really want to go after him in case that's what happens. Tom Brady? Do we bring in Tom Brady to back up Aaron Rodgers? No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm not sure if I'll even go after anyone. I probably should get a cornerback. Let's see if I can do that. There's really no corner here who I want, so maybe I don't go after cornerback and just let these young guys try to work it out. I do want to target someone, though. Maybe a middle linebacker of some sort. I wouldn't mind getting, like, Danny Trevathan to potentially be a backup, because I do want to draft a middle linebacker like I was saying. And I think that player would start just to get the most, you know, time on the field. Corey Littleton's pretty good. Nick Kwiatkowski is not too bad. I think I'll go after Kwiatkowski. He's still pretty young, and I think we should be able to get him. We got Graham Glasgow, and we got Nick Kwiatkowski, so nothing too crazy happened in that first free agency period, but I do think both of those guys make the team better. We now have a pretty solid right guard for the next 2 seasons, and Nick Kwiatkowski is a nice middle linebacker to have. Okay, a few things I'd like to point out before I really advance and get into the draft. I'm using a different draft class than what I usually use. This one is by Nathan P2433. So if you look up that name in the community file tab, if you just search by gamertag, you should be able to find it. I did make some changes to the draft class, though, like just now. I changed a few overalls. So if anything looks weird in this draft class, I'm sure Nathan will actually comment on this video, so you can kind of talk to him about it if you'd like, or you can just tell me about it. I can probably contact him pretty easily if you think he should make any changes to the draft class. Let me know what you think of the draft class, though. I kind of did a quick look through it. I liked a lot of the things I saw. I did change a couple things like I mentioned. There were a few players I moved up. I didn't move anybody down necessarily, but I did change Chase Young back to a right end because I was told that if you just kind of mess with the Redskins roster and make it so that their right end, I think it's Jonathan Allen, is like a quarterback, then they will normally take a right end. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. I'll probably have to change him to outside linebacker at some point, but I'm doing my best to get him to go to the Redskins. So let's move Jonathan Allen to quarterback. He shouldn't get like cut for the team or anything like that. That would be weird. If anything, I can fix it some other way. We're going to make him a quarterback for the time being. Let's see if the Redskins go ahead and take Chase Young. I really hope they do now. I'll have to make sure to change him to an outside linebacker as well. Make sure all that good stuff happens. But I'm going to turn on auto scouting, and I'll see you guys in the draft. Okay, so we are entering the 2020 NFL draft now. The Bengals will probably go Joe Burrow. That's who they've been going in the past. But I want to point this out as well before I really begin. It doesn't say any of these guys went to the combine because I imported the draft class during the first week of free agency, like when you can see the combine. That's when I imported the draft class. That's why it says that. If I import it any sooner, I'll have to start from an earlier week, and when I do that, the roster isn't as updated. So it's like a weird trade-off. I'd rather have this happen than have the roster outdated. But let's advance here. The Bengals probably go Joe Burrow. That's who they've been going with for a while. Okay, now here we go. Do the Redskins go with Chase Young? Please take him. They still go Jeff Okudah. I don't know what to do to get the Redskins to go with Chase Young. I'll have to move Jonathan Allen back to defensive end. Andrew Thomas is on the Lions. Who goes with Chase Young? Like, he always falls, and I don't get why. Isaiah Simmons is going to the Giants. I'm sure the Dolphins go with Chase Young here. They do, so they get an 81 overall right end. That's just such a stupid draft pick. But okay, anyway, I think I'm going to actually trade up in this draft because I really want a specific linebacker. I think I'm going to try to trade up with the Raiders. Let's see if I can get this to work. So what do they need? They could use a guard. And I do have Lane Taylor, who I could give them. Do they even want Lane Taylor? They're kind of interested in him. Okay, this also helps us in the cap situation. I wouldn't mind doing that. We can give him a first-round draft pick this year and maybe like a second next year. Is that fair? I try to make these as fair as possible. It's kind of difficult to gauge the realism of some of these trade-ups because you can trade up in Madden super easily. Like, this will probably go through. I think this is pretty fair. We're giving them a starting caliber guard. He's not that good. Who is their left guard? They don't have a left guard. They're actually really in need of one then. And Lane Taylor could start. He's really not that good, but he is starting caliber. So I want to make this trade. I think that's fair. We're giving him a second-round draft pick next year as well. And we're only trading up 11 spots, which is quite a lot, actually. But let's simulate to our pick now. I think this would be a fine trade-up. I think Packers fans would be okay with this if that ended up happening, especially if they were able to land the player they want. Let's see if he's still here. He should be. And he is still here. It is Patrick Queen. I didn't scout him at all, but I know he's going to be a pretty decent overall. So Patrick Queen is on the team. He's a 73 with hidden development. Rank number 24. Took him at number 19. He is going to be the new starting middle linebacker on this team. We did sign Kwiatkowski, but I really want Patrick Queen to be the long-term option at middle linebacker. Kwiatkowski's definitely not bad, but I think Patrick Queen has a lot more potential. He definitely has a lot more potential. He's a rookie and not even that much worse, so I'm good with that. Now in the second round, I'm going to try to land a wide receiver. Usually they fall pretty far. Okay, so there's a couple good receivers left. I'm comfortable with this. I think the player I want is KJ Hamler, though. Showing my Penn State bias a little bit as well. I don't think I've really ever taken him, at least recently, and had him start. I usually would go with him just because he's there, but he's actually going to be pretty involved in this offense. So KJ Hamler, welcome to the team. He's a 71 overall hidden development trait. He'll probably be the number 2 option for us. I don't know if I want him playing the slot or Devontae Adams, because Devontae Adams can play the slot super well too. We'll have to see what I want to do with that. In the third round, though, I really don't know who to go with. I'm really not sure who to go with at this point, so I think I'm going to try to trade down. I'm not going to really land anybody who's that valuable right now anyway. I think I'd rather take the draft picks for next year. I can get a 3rd round draft pick next year from the Falcons. The Eagles are also offering that along with a 7th. So are the Chiefs, and so are the Colts. I'm going to go with the Eagles, though. They're pretty inconsistent. Hopefully they can have a bad season this next year. Not in real life, because I am an Eagles fan, but in the game, I would love it if they could just not win a game. I think I'm going to go with Kayvon Wallace here. He doesn't seem like a bad option in the 4th round. A 59. Okay, maybe he is a bad option. The reason I said he might not be that bad is because I read some pretty good things about him on Twitter. Somebody mentioned how nobody's talking about him and he can actually be a pretty good player. I think it was him. I don't know. He's a 59, though. I simulated the draft after I took that free safety. Not that big of a deal because none of those players would really start anyway. Like, I'm good with simulating there. Let's check out the draft, though. So I think this one went pretty well. We do have a new middle linebacker who is going to be starting the rest of the rebuild here. KJ Hamler will probably be starting the rest of the time as well. Then we got a bunch of random backups. I'm okay with all those guys down there. Jedrick Wills went after Chase Young there. He went to the Chargers. That's a good pick for the Chargers. Jerry Jeudy going to the Panthers. Derek Brown, Josh Jones, Tristan Wirfs finish off the top 10. That's usually what happens with these drafts. I don't know why Chase Young does not go to the Redskins. They just really need a corner, apparently. Even though I feel like they should go Chase Young over Jeff Okudah. Okudah's a great player, but I don't know. It's Chase Young. Let me move Jonathan Allen back, and then I'll get the team all situated. I'm going to be cutting Jimmy Graham here because it frees up money, and I just don't really want him on this team anymore. The Packers don't seem to have the best cap situation in the game because their superstar players usually hit free agency. So I'm going to go around trying to cut some of these players. Like, I know Billy Turner is expensive, and it's not actually worth it to cut him right now. We take a bigger penalty than what we save. Let me go through these contracts, though. Let's see if I can get rid of some of these more expensive players, just to make some more room to bring back the guys I want on the team. All right, so this is going to be the team here for the first full season. It's an 84, 85 overall offense, 83 overall defense. That's one of the only times where the overall actually makes sense in the end. It's usually like a 90 offense, 79 defense, 81 overall. Like, it never makes any sense, but whatever. On the offense here, though, not too much changed. I mean, we do have a new number 2 receiver. Also, I guess Jamal Williams is playing fullback. I'm good with that. He's an 80 overall in that position. Graham Glasgow is also on the team now at right guard. We lost a couple backup receivers. I think the team looks pretty good, though, on the offense. Also, Jimmy Graham is no longer on the team. I recently cut him. So Jace Sternberger will be the starting tight end. I think he can do fine in that role. We can probably try to replace him if he's not that good. And then defensively, we added a new middle linebacker. He will be the number 1 linebacker on the team. Rashawn Gary moved down to right end. I'm good with him playing down here, considering he's a lot better than Montravius Adams. Adams is a 66. Rashawn Gary is a 74 as a right end. I'm perfectly fine with that. I think he could actually do really well. I doubt they'll go 13-3 again, but I do think we can make the playoffs. All right, so here at week 9, the team is 5-2. Okay, so we're playing well. Tied with the Bears for the top seed in the NFC North. 3-5 for the Lions. 1-6 for the Vikings down there. I need to start trading for their draft pick in my fantasy style rebuilds. They seem to play really poorly. KJ Hamler, though, has star development. He's a 75 overall right now. One more experience point for him, too. Pretty nice looking. Defensively, Patrick Queen also has star development. He's up to a 77, though, so he's already the same overall as Kwiatkowski. I'm really happy we drafted Patrick Queen. I feel like Packers fans would be okay with getting him and getting KJ Hamler. It depends on how you feel about Patrick Queen. I know some people don't think he's a first-round talent. I know other people think he's really talented, so it's just kind of depending on where you sit. I think KJ Hamler is some pretty good value, though, in the second round. David Bakhtiari is the number 1 free agent here, and I want him on the team really badly. He's a 95 overall. Kenny Clark I want. Aaron Jones I want. We may have to lose some of these players down here, though. Okay, because this is going to be pretty expensive. That should be good. I think we should get him back. No, okay, we just need to improve the bonus. Okay, that's fun. I don't think we're going to be able to get all these players back in the team. This is going to be a struggle. Let's see if we can get Kenny Clark right now. He's coming back to the team for a couple more seasons. That's nice to see. Aaron Jones is a guy I want too. We're not going to have enough money for David Bakhtiari unless I like cut someone. Aaron Jones is back on the team. Okay, so then Corey Linsley, Kevin King may have to walk. Maybe I can get rid of a player now. I don't really think I have enough players to get rid of to actually be able to bring back all those guys. I really want to cut Billy Turner, but I can't do that right now. It doesn't make sense. Let's just continue simulating, and then hopefully we can bring these guys back later. Okay, Bakhtiari is coming back to the team. That's a really big player to bring back. Kevin King is a guy I want because he's really cheap. I'm going to give him like a 4-year contract. Let's just bump this up a tad. Maybe we can bring him back for this. He is coming back to the team. Okay, that's a big player to bring back because he is superstar dev. He could go up a lot. Corey Linsley is a guy I want, but we won't be able to get this done. A bit unfortunate because he is a talented center, but I should be able to replace him in the draft. Did we make the playoffs here this season? We did, but we finished 9-7. So we just barely made it in. 10-6 for the Bears winning the division. 6-10 for the Lions. 5-11 for the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers actually had a really good season. 4,400 yards, 34 touchdowns. I always say that before I see the pick numbers. So this season isn't all that good. But the 4,400 yards and 34 touchdowns, really nice. 18 picks is way too many. Aaron Jones was pretty good this year. Almost 4 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns, about 1,100 yards. Took a step back from last year, though. KJ Hamler had a great season. 104 catches, 1,109 yards, 8 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns for him. Sternberger was okay. 6 touchdowns, 700 yards. Not all that bad. The offensive line was blocking super well. That's good to see. Defensively, Patrick Queen, 114 tackles, 3 picks, 5 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks. I hope that's enough for Defensive Rookie of the Year. 15 tackles for loss for Kenny Clark. We have 10 for Rashawn Gary. 9.5 sacks for Preston Smith leads the team. 8 for Kenny Clark. 6.5 for Rashawn Gary. Gary had a really good season. Patrick Queen leads the team in picks. 2 for Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage, and Jair Alexander. 1 for Nick Witkowski, Kevin King, and Josh Jackson. We had no touchdowns, but we do have a safety, and we have 2 blocked kicks. No forced fumbles, though, for this team. We are 3rd in the NFL in offense. Matt LaFleur is also on the Chiefs now. That's cool. And we are 9th in the NFL on defense. MVP was Patrick Mahomes. Anybody from the Packers? We do have Aaron Rodgers at number 9. I'll take that. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers at number 7. Defensive Player of the Year is DeMarcus Lawrence. We have Patrick Queen at number 10. Is there a rookie above him? There is not a rookie above him. I hope that's enough then for Defensive Rookie of the Year, but Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to KJ Hamler. That is huge. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Patrick Queen. We got both of those awards, and I love to see that. Okay, we have to take on the Dallas Cowboys this year. They are 11-5. We are an 85 overall as well as they are, but they have Tom Brady on their team. Okay, that's a little scary. Let's advance by the week. Can we beat them? I hope we can. I feel like I haven't won a playoff game in a little while, and that's going to continue as we lose in the first round there. Cowboys made it all the way to the Super Bowl. They have to take on the Cleveland Browns, a very typical Madden Super Bowl. I think the Browns are going to win, though. They usually do, and they actually don't there. 28-20. They get taken down. All right. Did anybody go up in development? KJ Hamler, I'm looking at you on offense. You are up to superstar, and you have 3 more experience points. Okay, he was a great draft pick to have. Defensively, Patrick Queen, are you up to superstar? You are not. A bit disappointing, but that's fine. He's up to an 81. He has 1 more experience point as well. Did anybody else go up in development? I don't think so, but I pretty much always miss someone. I hope I'm not missing anybody right now. I don't think we have, like, any money to bring back anyone. I would want Corey Linsley back on the team, but we can't do that. Yeah, negative $11.8 million. I love to see that. Let's just advance and see who is in free agency. The Packers have a weird money situation. Negative $11 million. I could have went after Trent Williams, Austin Hooper, Kareem Hunt, Shaq Barrett. Marshawn Lattimore would be huge, but there's absolutely no way I can free up enough money for that. I'll take a look, but there's no chance. Okay, so in my attempt to bring back Jair Alexander for as long as I can in this rebuild and make him not hit free agency, I will be giving him this 5th-year option. We're going to have even less money now to spend, but I want to give him this 5th-year option just to lock him up for at least 1 more year. We may not be able to bring back Devontae Adams now, which is really upsetting. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make enough money throughout the season. I'll do my best. That might be a little cheesy, though. You know, the way I got back Jair Alexander. But, you know, it works in the game. I'm just going to allow it because I really want him back on the team. So we are entering into the NFL draft. The Jaguars have back-to-back picks. It's actually really cool. The Broncos, though, have the number 1 overall pick. I'm going to simulate straight to pick number 21. There is one player I really want. I was considering trading up for him, and that's actually him. He goes up pick before I select. That's so annoying. Julius Callahan. He's a 78 overall, I think that says. He was a really, really good-looking defensive tackle. That is frustrating, but it's okay. I can probably find someone else to go with here. I do have some other options. I think I'm going to go with Arthur Winslow. Let me look around first, though. Winslow is going to be a good pick, but he probably has normal development. I do need another offensive lineman, since we don't have Corey Linsley anymore. And I'm sure Winslow is the best guy left. Yeah, so I'm fully aware this guy's probably going to have normal, but we're going to take him. Arthur Winslow, welcome to the team. 76 overall, and he actually does have hidden. Okay, that was a really good draft pick. He has really poor run block finesse, but pretty good stats other than that. I'm good with him starting on this team for sure. The reason why I took him in the first round is because we don't have a second round draft pick due to the trade up we did last year. I just wanted to make sure I was able to get that guy. So who is still left on my draft board? I have a few players left. That wide receiver actually got selected. That's kind of frustrating. I thought he was supposed to go in the late third round or something. I guess we're just going to go with the defensive tackle. So who looks better? Early fourth round. He's mid third round talent though. This guy has late third round talent. Okay, so Madison Jennings will be a little bit better. He's a 66, but he does have hidden. So maybe this guy can start and we can cut Dean Lowry from the team just to save a little bit of money. I'm going to take this other defensive tackle as well, Amari Glenn, just to get some good depth. Maybe he has hidden? He doesn't, but he's a 66. Is that the same as the other guy? I think it might be. Other guy's probably just a little bit better because of his development trait. But with this next pick, if he's available, are you guys ready for the biggest steal of the entire draft? It's going to be a tight end. Please still be here. He actually got selected. He was supposed to go late 5th round, and he was selected now. That's a bit annoying, but it's all good. I'm just going to simulate now. I don't really have anybody else scouted. I should say that I don't really have anybody else who I really want. I had a couple other guys scouted, but I don't really care about them. And I did not advance to the end of the draft. I just went to my next pick. My bad. I'm okay with this draft, even though it didn't go perfectly. I would have much rather had that defensive tackle, because then I could have maybe traded up into the 2nd round to get this right guard. That defensive tackle looks so good. I'm pissed I wasn't able to land him. He literally went 1 pick before we selected. But who is the best player in the class? It was 378s with Julius Callahan being one of them. I'm so mad I wasn't able to get him. What is his development trait? Of course it's Superstar X Factor. That always happens to me, man. I used up all my luck at the beginning of the year. I used to have at least 1 or 2 X Factors every draft, and now I just keep getting so unlucky with a lot of these guys. But where is that tight end? This was the tight end I was going to select. He went in the 4th round. He only has normal development, but he's a 72. He's not very good, but he has good blocking stats. I was just going to take him for the memes, but whatever. That draft, I'm still alright with it, but I'm so mad I couldn't get that defensive tackle. He is so good. I was going to cut Dean Lowry, but it really doesn't save all that much money. I'm good with him starting at left end still. This will be the team heading into the 2nd full season. I think I will have to look to replace Aaron Rodgers very shortly. I kind of hope he does retire because I think it would save us some money in the end. I still think the team is good. It's an 85, 87 offense, 83 defense. Our wide receiver core is actually looking pretty good with Devontae Adams and KJ Hamler, both superstars. Hamler's up to an 84 as well. Graham Glasgow kicked inside to center. I'm sure that's fine because we did draft Winslow, who is starting at right guard. He should be good for us, the rest of this rebuild here. And then defensively, I'm sad I wasn't able to land that defensive tackle. If I did land him, I probably would have then cut Dean Lowry. But the defense is still pretty good in my mind. I think this team can be fine for this next season. Let's see how they do. Okay, so here at week 9, the team is 6-1. Alright, so we're playing well this season. 3-4 for the Bears, 2-5 for the Lions and the Vikings down there. The right guard has star development. Pretty sad that wasn't anything more, but for a 2nd round projected player, I'm perfectly fine with that. KJ Hamler, I think, is up in overall a little bit, up to an 85. And then on the defensive side, nothing looks too different over here. I think Patrick Queen is up a little bit in overall. Everybody should be up at least a bit. Most players, at least. So, Devontae Adams needs a contract. I really want him back on the team. I want Brian Bulaga, too. We're not going to be able to get everybody I want here, I don't think. Let's see if we can even land Devontae Adams. Okay, we can. We can definitely get Devontae Adams back. We're not going to have any money to spend in free agency, but I'm fine with this. Devontae Adams is coming back to the team. We can probably even bring back Brian Bulaga again. 1-year deal, I am really okay with this. Let's just bring the signing bonus up a good bit. He wants that as well. Okay, so we have him back for 1 more year. We have Devontae Adams back for a little bit. J.K. Scott's also a really good punter. If he wants that contract, I'll give it to him. Okay, I don't have enough money for this. I'm not going to worry about a punter, because they're pretty replaceable in Madden here. So I'm going to spend my scouting points and I'll simulate to the end of the year. We made the playoffs again, but we have to play on the wild card weekend here once again. 11-5 though for the record. Not bad whatsoever. 7-9 for the Bears, 6-10 for the Lions and the Vikings. How did Aaron Rodgers do this year? Similar yardage number, similar touchdown number, but much fewer interceptions. This is a much better season than the one he had a year ago. Aaron Jones had a pretty similar season to last year. I don't know why he's not averaging over 4 yards per carry. I thought he usually does. Bo Scarborough, though, leads the team in touchdowns with 9. KJ Hamler had a really good season, 89 for 1,130, 11 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, almost 1,000 yards. Jay Sternberger, though, 909 yards, 10 touchdowns. Maybe he can be the starting tight end again next year. I really like that season. The offensive line is playing out of their minds right now, at least in the pass blocking department. I'm sure they're run blocking well, too. But, like, Aaron Jones's numbers would kind of lead me to believe otherwise. I just can't imagine this team not run blocking well. 100 tackles from Patrick Queen leads the team. 15 tackles for loss for Kenny Clark. We have 10 sacks for Zadarius Smith. That's a good season from him. 5 picks from Jair Alexander. 4 for Josh Jackson. 2 for Adrian Amos and Darnell Savage. 1 for Preston Smith and Nick Witkowski. Josh Jackson had a really good year. Did not expect him to get 4 interceptions. We have at least 1 touchdown. It's from Josh Jackson. No safeties, and I think I saw 1 blocked kick. No, I saw a forced fumble. That's what it was. We have 4 forced fumbles. Okay. And 3 of those were recovered. We were 4th this year on offense, just barely getting past 6,000 yards. Defensively, we were 19th. Okay, but the record's better, so I'll take that. Ezekiel Elliott wins MVP, but Aaron Rodgers at number 4. He's getting up there. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Zeke, but Aaron Rodgers at number 2. Defensive Player of the Year is Anthony Barr. Nobody from the Packers. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Bruce Collins. I imagine he's a quarterback. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Connor Green. But we do have Madison Jennings at number 9. I don't even know who that is. He's a 73 overall. Is that the defensive tackle we drafted, like the backup? That would make sense, like overall wise. It would make sense for him to go up that much throughout the season. But the team is up to an 87, 89 offense, 85 defense. We have to take on the Saints this year. They're an 85 overall. They have more X factors though, so they're going to win this game. That's pretty much what that means. I'm going to advance this one. I may hop in next year if we make the playoffs again. We probably will. I think this team can do that once again. But we did win that game, 35-10. We have to go up against the Seahawks, who are one of the best teams in this entire game. They're an 83 overall, but overalls don't really matter in this game really at all. Let's advance again. Actually, let me upgrade the players first. Get the team as good as it can possibly be. One player has an experience point. He was a 69 overall. Whatever. Let's go to the conference championship. Are we in it? We are. We have to take on the Buccaneers. 41-35. That was an interesting game. They're an 83 overall with a couple X factors of their own. Devin McCourty makes his way over there. Let's sim straight to the Super Bowl. If we do make the Super Bowl, I'll hop in and I'll probably play a decent bit of it. Let me spend these experience points, though, before we simulate. Just like the team to be as good as it can possibly be. Heading into the Super Bowl, we have to take down the Buccaneers. Come on. I have faith in the team. We actually lose that game. They have to go up against the Chiefs. Okay, so who's going to win Super Bowl 56? Will it be the Buccaneers or the Chiefs? I want the Buccaneers to win. That would be cool. They do win 34-28. The question is, though, do they still have Jameis Winston? I'm sure they do. So Jameis went from having one of the weirdest seasons in the entire NFL to winning the Super Bowl potentially. Also, Aaron Rodgers retired. This could be problematic. So if we can't sign a quarterback in free agency, I may have to trade up for one. Jameis Winston was the quarterback. What a strange season for him again. How did this team make the Super Bowl? Like, what? Very weird. Whatever. I don't know why I went to blocking. I didn't mean to. But we do have to look out for a quarterback. Didn't expect Aaron Rodgers to retire. I don't know why I didn't expect him to retire. Makes sense that he did. KJ Hamler, though, is up to Superstar X Factor. Sternberger is up to Star. Okay, at least the team is progressing well. If anything, we do have Nick Mullins. So, you know, the team isn't in complete shambles. Defensively, anyone go up in development over here? I don't think so again, unless I'm missing someone. I thought Josh Jackson had potential to, but he did not. I'm actually okay with the cornerback core for this next season. I'm good with it. But how much money do we have, if any at all? We actually have $29.5 million because Aaron Rodgers retired. Okay, that's massive. We can bring back Josh Jackson. I want him on the team. I'm going to check out to see the corners in free agency first before I make any moves. J.K. Scott, though, I'll probably bring back. I mean, he's a good punter. Bring him up to like $1 million. Do you want that contract? He does. Okay, I'm good with him back on the team. MVS, I'm going to move on from. I'm sure we can replace him pretty easily. Let's see who is in free agency, though. I'm actually really excited for this period because we can finally bring in some players. Von Miller is the top guy, but I don't really want him. LVE is here, but I don't really want him. Braden Smith would be pretty big. Again, don't really want him on the team. I could use a center, and Marquise Pouncey makes a lot of sense. 101 points should be enough. Is there anybody who I really want, though? Like, any quarterbacks or anything? Ryan Tannehill is the best quarterback. Jacoby Brissett is here, though. He is glitchy. Now, I'm going to go after Ryan Tannehill, try to give him a contract. In case I can't land a quarterback, Ryan Tannehill will be the starting quarterback for this last season. He usually plays really well in simulation, though, so I'm actually alright with that. Also, I think I'm going to go after Dante Pettis. He's pretty good, and I think we can get him. Let's see if we got those 3 players I went after. We did not get Dante Pettis or Marquise Pouncey. That's a phenomenal start. We are still going after Ryan Tannehill, though. I gave Dante Pettis a lot of money. Pisses me off a little bit. Turns out Ryan Tannehill is getting a lot of points from the Falcons. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to do my best then to trade up for a quarterback. I'll go after Anthony Miller, I guess, because I do want another receiver. I guess I'll go after Matt Skira as well just to get a center in case I can't draft one. I think the rest of the offensive line should be fine, though. I also forgot to look at corner because nobody really caught my interest. That's my bad. I'm going to try to get Taron Johnson on the team. I would rather have Josh Jackson than him, but I kind of forgot to look at cornerback because I was kind of preoccupied with the other positions I was going after. Let's check out the draft, though. Maybe we can land a corner in the draft. I doubt we'll be able to, but of course we'll look. Turns out we probably can land a corner, but I'm almost certain this guy will have normal development. Okay, so we have an issue here at quarterback, right? There's this guy down here who won't be too bad. William Hayden, late first round talent, late second round projection. So he'll be like a 71 or a 72. Other than that, we have these 2 early first round guys. And I don't think I can make a trade go through where I trade up from 29 into like the top 5. I just don't think I can make that realistic. Maybe I could, but I feel like in real life that would require a lot. I feel like that would require draft picks for like the next 3 years, and we just can't do that in Madden. I would want to draft one of these guys. I just don't think I'll be able to. It would probably be Riley Hunt. Maybe if they make it to like pick 10, I can try to trade up, but I don't want to trade up into the top 5. I just don't want to do that. That doesn't feel right to me. We got Matt Skira on the team, we got Taron Johnson, and we got Anthony Miller. Okay, I'm good with all those guys. We just still need a quarterback. So this last season's going to be interesting. Wait, hang on a second. There is Clifton Trammell as well, who is down here. I'm really okay drafting him. He's skipped the combine, he's a mid-first round talent, he's going to be better than William Hayden. Okay, I found my quarterback. I'm okay with this draft then. This is such a weird quarterback draft. Okay, so let's load into the 2022 NFL draft. Our first pick is number 29. I may actually have to go with that quarterback with the 29th pick. I don't think I can risk him still being there in the 2nd round, even though he's supposed to go in the 3rd. I'll probably take him here, but let's just see who else is available first. Yeah, okay, there's nobody else who really piques my interest. There are a couple good guys down here who I would want at some point. Is that other quarterback even available? I'll have to make sure I look at him to see what he's all about. He is still here, William Hayden. He's not going to be as good as this guy, so we're going to go with good old Clifton here with the 29th pick in the 1st round. Welcome to the team. He's a 73 and he has hidden. I am so happy this guy has hidden development. Even a 73 with normal would have been good enough, but hidden development makes him actually really solid. I really wanted that corner and he's actually gone. All the guys I want keep getting selected. Okay, that's really annoying. That guy's going to be a really good cornerback. He probably has normal development, but still, I really wanted him on the team. We're going to go with Greg Kidd, though. Welcome. He's a 68 overall normal development. He's pretty good. He's definitely not a bad player. He's a really good route runner. Can't catch all that well. He's just going to be a depth receiver here for us. The 6.8 combine grid's actually really good, so I'm going to go off of that. Derek Whitfield, welcome to the team. He's a 67. I was right. He's actually a pretty good player. That was a good draft pick, but let's simulate now to the end. I'm okay with this draft as well because we were able to land a franchise quarterback. 73 overall. Hopefully he has more than star development. I would love it if he could have like X Factor or something. That would be crazy. He skips the combine and has X Factor. That would be tremendous. But he was the best player in this class overall. There's 4 77s at the top. All looking pretty nice. But where is this corner? I need to find this guy. I think it's this guy. Just based on when he went and his overall, it's probably Derek Wilds, and he has hidden development. If this guy's an X Factor, I think I'm going to end the video right now. I was kidding, but he has star development. I was so close to being able to get him. When did I pick in the 2nd round? I think he went with the 24th pick. And I'm pretty sure I had like the 29th, didn't I? I just barely missed out on that guy. Oh, that pisses me off. But I need to check out these quarterbacks. Let me see what these guys are all about. Okay, so there's the first quarterback right there. Matthew Tatum. He went actually number 20. We were pretty close to being able to get him, to be honest. I don't mind the guy we got. He's a 76, though. I feel like he has star. It is just star. Okay. There was another 1st round quarterback, I believe. There were like 2 more 1st round quarterbacks. So we technically got the 2nd best quarterback. There's Riley Hunt. He's a 72. With hidden development. He has star as well. Okay, and then the last guy we can check out is the guy I almost went with before I saw the guy who skipped the combine. So this guy's gonna be like a 71 or so, I'd imagine. Probably this guy. Yeah, he is a 71. He only has normal development. Okay, I'm really happy with the quarterback we landed. If our guy has more than star, I think we got the best quarterback. I'm gonna go ahead and buy the quarterback upgrade. So if this quarterback has superstar or X Factor, he's probably gonna be in the upper 80s after the season, if he can do well. But here is a look at the team. It's an 86, 88 offense, 84 defense. It's still a really solid roster. I feel like they can make the playoffs even with a rookie quarterback, because playbooks are kind of broken in this game. I've been liking the Tennessee offense. Usually makes the quarterbacks play pretty well. To show a little bit of proof of that, the first season in this, I did not use the Tennessee Titans offense. I used the Packers offense, and then I switched to the Titans, and Aaron Rodgers played a lot better. So hopefully this guy can follow suit and play really well. He has a really good team around him, so I think he can do just fine. On the defense, the only thing that really changed is that we added Taron Johnson. I don't know if it's Taron or Taron. I feel like I've heard it both ways before. But, you know, he joins the team. He's a good cornerback. I think he can do fine. I wish I still had Josh Jackson. I should have just brought him back to the team. I was kind of just hoping there would be like a stud in free agency, and there just kind of wasn't. But whatever. I think the team is good enough to make it back to the playoffs. Let's see how they do. The team really didn't make the playoffs this year. Oh, come on. How did the quarterback do then? We finished 5-11. I guess this team isn't anything without Aaron Rodgers. Our quarterback actually had a really good season. 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 4,164 yards, 260 yards per game. Not a bad year for a rookie. Aaron Jones was okay. Didn't really do anything special. 4.2 yards per carry is pretty good, though. KJ Hamler was really good. 1,357 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns for Davante Adams and Jay Sternberger. Davante Adams took a massive step back. Anthony Miller had 8 touchdowns. He was actually a pretty good acquisition. The offensive line didn't play all that well this year. It wasn't bad, but they definitely played better in the past. 135 tackles, though, for Patrick Queen. He had a good season. 20 tackles for loss for Rashawn Gary. 9 sacks for Zadarius Smith. 3 picks for Kevin King, and 2 for Patrick Queen and Jair Alexander, 1 for Adrian Amos and Darnell Savage. We have no touchdown safeties or blocked kicks, but do we have any forced fumbles? Yeah, we actually have a lot. We have 6 forced fumbles, and half of those were recovered. We were 18th in the NFL on offense, and then defensively, we were 31st. Yeah, this team just did not play well this season. It was a pretty weird one to have. Bruce Collins, though, wins MVP. I guess that's what happens when you start a rookie quarterback. Riley Hunt is actually above Trammell in the MVP running. So I'm sure Trammell didn't win Offensive Rookie of the Year then. NFC Offensive Player of the Year is Bruce Collins. Riley Hunt, again, right above Clifton Trammell. Number 6 for him, though. Defensive Player of the Year is Eric Kendricks. Patrick Queen, though, at number 4. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Riley Hunt. Clifton Trammell was so close to winning that one. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Blake Fredrickson. Nobody from the Packers. So the Chiefs and the Seahawks make the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 57. Who's it going to go to? The winner is the Chiefs, 26-14. Let me actually consider the money situation first, because I might end the video here, or I might go another season. Trammell only has star development. He didn't go up in development either, because he didn't win any awards or anything like that. But he is a 79, so he's not a bad player. I'm going to have to gauge a lot of these positions, though, to see if I want to go another season. Rashawn Gary went up to star development. That's pretty cool to see. The team is still really solid. I'm going to have to replace a couple of these guys, though, for sure, if I do go another season. Let's see how much money we have. If I can afford it, I probably will go another season. There's a lot of guys who I want to bring in, though. We have $89 million. Okay, we can actually do this. Jair Alexander, we're going to try to give a contract to. He wants to play for a new team. No, you don't, pal. You're getting franchise tagged. Zadarius Smith, we're going to give a contract to as well. He's going to test out free agency. That's fun. Okay. Adrian Amos, I'm going to let go. Preston Smith, I'm going to let go. We're going to have to change this team a lot in this next season. I think it'll be okay, though. We should have enough money for it. Elshton Jenkins, I'm going to try to bring back to the team. He's coming back. Okay, finally somebody re-signs. Brian Bulaga, I'm going to let go of as well. Darnell Savage, I want back on the team. He is coming back. Okay, that's cool to see. Rashawn Gary, I'm going to try to give a contract to as well. And then I see Jay Sternberger at the end. I want him. Rashawn Gary is coming back. And then Sternberger, let's try to bring him back to the team. Okay, so I am going to go one more season. We do have enough money for this. Hopefully the team can just play better this last season, because this will be the last season for sure. I do have to try to bring back some other people in free agency, though. I'm going to need Zadarius Smith. I'm going to need a new strong safety. But we do have $61 million. That's the good thing about going after a rookie quarterback. So, Zadarius Smith, I'm going to give a lot of money to get him back on the team. This is going to be a crazy contract, but I don't really care. I just want him back. It turns out we're probably going to have to give contracts to, like, everybody who was just on the team. I'm going to pretty much overpay for all these guys just to make sure they accept, because I need players in these positions really badly. Okay, so let's see who we got on the team. I really hope we at least got Zadarius Smith. He's the one I'm most worried about. We got Jelani Tavai, we got Adrian Amos, we got Zadarius Smith, and Preston Smith. Okay, so the team can at least go another season, even if I don't draft anybody, but I will take part in this draft. So in this draft, we have the 5th overall pick, which is actually quite nice, because we finally have an early first-round draft pick. Let's send directly to that pick. I'm looking for a tackle, and I'm looking for a defensive end, and Dominic Goodwin just goes. 78 overall. That guy looks really good. Let's see who's available, though, in the positions I need. So I see a left end down there who looks really good. Corey Lamb, could go with him. Mid first round projection, but early first round talent. He would be a good draft pick right now. Don't really want any of the right ends. Let's check out tackle, though, before I do anything else. So there's this left tackle who looks really good. Mid first round talent, early second round projection. There's also this right tackle, late first round talent, late first round projection. Okay, I do need a tackle of some sort, though, so we have to land one of these guys at some point. I'm going to go with an offensive lineman, I think. I think this is the smartest thing to do, and I'll tell you why. We have a backup defensive tackle who can play defensive end for us for this final season. I think he can play perfectly fine there. The one guy we drafted with hidden development is up to like a 73 overall. He's a 74 overall, actually. He can play perfectly fine at defensive end if we need him to. I'm good with that because Dean Lowry was fine this whole time. Because of that, I'm going to go with an offensive lineman. I think it's a bigger need right now. This guy might have normal development. I'm fully aware of this, but he looks really good, and I don't really want to move a guard to tackle. This guy just fits pretty nicely. Corey Landry is on the team. He's a 75, but he has hidden. Okay, so he does not have normal. He's a really solid offensive lineman. He's going to play right tackle for us. The next player I want is Frank Salisbury. He has an early first round talent, but early third round projection. This guy is going to be a beast. He's a 77 overall hidden development trait. 95 speed, 93 acceleration, 80 catching, really good deep, really good medium, terrible short, so he wouldn't really be a good slot receiver. But it's okay. We have another KJ Hamler kind of guy, like size and speed-wise, on the team. I'm good with him to be the number 3 receiver. He might even have a crazy development trait since he skipped the combine. You never know. In the third round here, I think I'm going to go with a running back if he's available. There's this quarterback who's still here. I kind of want to go with him to back up our current quarterback, but I'm not going to. I think I'm going to take this running back. Actually, no, that's stupid. I'm going to take this guy. Artis Norton, late first round talent. Pretty good pick right now. He's a 71 with normal. He can be our backup defensive tackle, and then our current backup will slide to defensive end. Now I'm going to take that running back if he's available. If not, I'll find someone else to go with. He is not available, but there is this guy, Dominic Hawkins, who actually looks pretty decent. He's a 66. He was supposed to go undrafted. That's a pretty good draft pick. Okay, not bad. Let's just sim to the end of the draft now. I'm sorry if you guys wanted me to take that defensive end in the first round. I'm sure that guy is a beast. I just really needed an offensive lineman, and I didn't want to try to trade back up, and there wasn't that many good guys in the later rounds. I'm really okay with this draft. I think it actually went pretty well. We have a good number 3 receiver now. We have a good starting right tackle. This guy's the left tackle. I'm going to move him over, though. Also, a good backup defensive tackle. I'm okay with this. The best overall player in the class, though, is Kazim Carney. What a name. He's a 79 overall. The Falcons got a great cornerback. Dominic Goodwin is really good. He's a 78. Vince Blackburn, a 78 overall quarterback, went in the 3rd round. Why couldn't we have landed this guy last year? What is his development trait? He only has star, but still, he's like just as good as the quarterback we have now. That's crazy. Let me see what that defensive end is. I completely forgot his name, but maybe I'll remember if I see it. It was this guy. It was Corey Lamb. I do remember it. He's a 78 with hidden. This guy is so good. He would have fit the team really well. I understand. This guy is probably an X Factor. I'm going to be so upset, man. Please don't be an X Factor. Why does this keep happening to me, man? Okay. I need to just stop second guessing myself. I just got to go with the best looking player. I am sorry. That's a big oof. But still, I mean, I'm okay with the draft, I think. I'm going to keep telling myself that until it gets better. Okay, so this is going to be the team for the final season. It's an 86, 88 offense, 84 defense. I still think this team is really good. The offense is good. We have a good running back. We have a really solid receiving core. We have a good offensive line, a good quarterback, and a good tight end. Like, I think this offense can play perfectly fine. I don't really think there's a hole on this entire offense. I guess if you consider fullback, because he's only a 66, but they don't really impact the team all that much here. And then defensively, we still have a pretty good overall defense, right? We have a good cornerback core, pretty good safety duo. Adrian Amos is pretty down in overall, though, at an 82. Darnell Savage is only an 81. Our linebackers are pretty good, though. Darius Smith is an 88. Patrick Queen is an 86. Our D-line is still pretty solid. Kenny Clark, 94 overall, one of the highest rated players on this entire team. I think this team can make it to the playoffs. Let me spend my coach experience, and I'll see you guys in the postseason. We made it back into the playoffs again, going 9-7, winning the division with that record. 8-8 for the Lions, 6-10 for the Bears, 5-11 for the Vikings. I feel like they've been really bad this entire time. Clifton Trammell had a really good year, though. 4,505 yards, 38 touchdowns, 11 picks. He's probably close to MVP. I don't think that's enough to win. We'll see, though. Aaron Jones has been kind of disappointing, like, this entire time. I was really thinking he'd run for like 1,400 yards every year, but he just hasn't. 987 touchdowns isn't too bad, though. KJ Hamler has been the highlight of the offense. 82 for 1,318 yards, 14 receiving touchdowns. Jay Sternberger had 9. Frank Salisbury even played pretty well with 4. Devontae Adams hasn't had such a good rebuild for us either. The offensive line, though, blocked really well this season. Defensively, we have 117 tackles for Patrick Queen. We have 11 tackles for loss for Kenny Clark with 14 sacks. He had a really good season. 3 interceptions for Darnell Savage, 2 for Johnson and Alexander, 1 for Patrick Queen, Kevin King, and Charles Carruthers. I don't know who that is at all. Don't think I drafted him. We have no defensive touchdowns, safeties, or blocked kicks. Any forced fumbles? Yeah, we have 2. And only 1 was recovered. Okay, so we were 4th in the NFL in offense, and we were 15th on defense this year. Okay. Trammell actually won MVP. Wow, I did not expect to see that one. Okay. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Trammell as well. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Khalil Mack. But Patrick Queen at number 8, he was a really good draft pick as well. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Vince Blackburn, that quarterback. Dominic Hawkins at number 2. Frank Salisbury at number 3. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Corey Lamb. Why do they have to rub it in, man? Yes, Superstar X Factor. I know he does. I'm so mad I wasn't able to get him. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal, even though it is a pretty big deal. I would have loved to have him on this team. Let's upgrade the team, and I'll let you guys know what the overall is. So Charles Carruthers is the only player with an experience point. Let me go over the development of these guys quickly, though. I think the wide receiver should be revealed by now. He has Superstar X Factor. Okay, so at least we got 1 X Factor. Wow. Didn't expect this guy to have X Factor. That's kind of incredible. The right tackle has star. He's up to an 80 overall as well. Anyone else to reveal? I don't think so. Okay, well, let's check out the Saints overall. I don't really want to hop into the wildcard week game. Honestly, I kind of like reserving it for the bigger games. I don't know why it doesn't show his X Factor ability for our third receiver. Whatever. We're an 88, they're an 86. Maybe it's not activated. I think I can change that actually pretty quickly if it's not. Yeah, it doesn't say that it's activated. Apparently, if you edit the player and change him from Superstar X Factor just to Superstar and then change it back, it should be activated. His ability is now activated. He actually has Mossed, which is pretty funny for his size. I don't imagine him winning many jump balls, but whatever. I'll take the ability. Let's advance by this week and see if we can take down the Saints. I don't want to hop in just yet, like I said. I'll hop into the conference championship if we can make it there. And we do not make it past this game. 18-14, we end up losing. It's whatever, though. Let's go to the Super Bowl. I say this all the time. I'm not really all that worried about winning Super Bowls in these videos. It's more fun to me just to see how the team progresses and see who we draft and all that good stuff. But let's see who's going to win the Super Bowl this year. It will be the Browns, 27-20. Who went up in development trade here quickly before I finish this video? The quarterback is up to Superstar, and he has 9 experience points. KJ Hamler is up to a 95 overall. He is insane. He has terrible short route running. I guess they've just been going into deep this entire time. That's pretty funny, actually. I wish the computer would spread around the experience points a little bit better than that. Anyone go up in development here on defense? I don't think so, right? I'm probably missing someone. I feel like I always do. I'm always worried about that because I miss players all the time. Whatever. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.